these kids don't do anything I ask them to do. We've all thought it, probably several times, right? We know that all of our lives would be easier if everybody around us did exactly what we wanted them to do, right? For the kids in our homes and in our care, it's clean up, it's line up, it's keep your hands to yourself, catch a bubble, be nice to your friends. No matter when we ask them or how we ask them, there are children in the class or in your home that don't listen to a single thing that we want them to do. So what are we supposed to do to make them listen? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to QTip. We're going to be a star, and then we're going to provide two choices. So we know that QTip means quit taking it personally. Them not making a choice is never about us. It's never about us. So don't take it personally. Then we need to maintain our own composure, which means we need to be a star, which is smile, take a breath, and relax before we enter into any situation with the kids. We need to make sure that we are in our highest brain states, that we're as calm as we can be, because they can never be calmer than us. And then we're going to provide two choices. So think about control, right? These children, we tell them when to get up, when to go to bed, when to eat, what to wear, when to play, when to clean up, how to sit, how to stand, who to play with, how to play, when to nap, how to lay on your cot, when to talk, when to be quiet, how to handle upset, which is usually don't be upset, right? There is such a small amount, if any, control that they have in their world. Imagine how difficult that would be. When everyone is working to take control away from you, and then you're punished when you don't submit or do it their way, wouldn't you fight for control every chance you could? And when they say no, they get some control over their world and of you. So think about this. Children have little to no control over their world. Right? So when they say no, they're taking back some control of their world. And when they say no and you get worked up about it, they've also got control over you. It's a way for them to get a little bit of power into their lives. And so our goal is not to strip them of their power, right? We're not going to dominate over them and just say, I'm the adult, you're the kid, I've got the power. We're going to find ways to give them some control over their own lives. So the power of free will. You can't make a person do something unless they're willing. And you are the only person you truly have control over. Think about that again. You are the only person you truly have control over. Not any of the adults around you, not any of the children around you. The only person you really have control over is you. So we all have the inner power to choose our actions at any time, right? And we can choose helpful or hurtful. So right now, the choice is for us. We can be hurtful by continuing to seek out ways to make children behave a certain way. Or we can choose to be helpful, which is, how can I help children to choose to behave a certain way, right? How can we help them choose? How can we help them be more likely to make the choice that we want them to make? We're going to provide them with choices. Providing children choices helps them increase their attention span, develop decision-making skills, follow through on tasks. It improves their self-esteem. It develops responsibility within them, and it helps them feel empowered. There can't be anybody who doesn't want the children in their charge to feel these things, right? We all want them to have better attention span and decision-making skills and follow through. And of course, we want them to have better self-esteem and responsibility and to feel empowered. It's what we all want for the children. And yet, when we're constantly taking power from them, we are missing the opportunity for all of these things. So the formula for two positive choices is you have a choice. You may blank or blank, which is better for you. Now, we're going to get to some examples in just a second, but this is a really important little note here. When you provide two choices and one of them is a punishment, it is not a choice. So if I say you may clean up the blocks or you can sit out gym, which do you choose? That is not a choice. That's a manipulation, right? It's two things they don't want to do anyway. That's a manipulation. It's not a choice for them. They might comply out of fear of the punishment, but they'll miss all the great stuff that comes from making a choice. So let's not deny them that. Okay, so two positive choices requires two favorable outcomes. That means you need to pick two things that you can live with. You can build together or you can take turns, which is better for you. If I know a child has trouble cleaning up, I'm going to go over a few minutes early and I'm going to say, you can clean up now or you can clean up in 5 minutes, which is better for you. You can scoop your fruit or I can help. A child that's struggling to clean up, I might say, you can pick up the red blocks or the blue blocks first, which is better for you. So it's not a choice about whether you want to pick up the blocks or not. That's not the choice, right? You need to clean up so we can go or move on. The choice is, what do you want to pick up first, right? The trucks or the animals? You can place it in my hand or on the seat. So imagine a child has your something, your clipboard, your iPad. And, the moment you ask them for it back, right, they pull it into their chest because they want it to be theirs. So the choice isn't whether you give it back to me or not. It's you can place it in my hand or on the seat. You can hold my right hand or my left hand. You can walk like a penguin or crawl like a kitty. So there are going to be children, especially in the beginning, who are going to have a hard time making a choice. There's a couple different scenarios that might come up. So let's just do a little problem solving right now before we even get into it, okay? Because there's going to be children who are hesitant to choose, right? These children could probably quite possibly never have the opportunity to choose anything. So it might not feel really safe. And imagine a place that you don't have a lot of choices either. It might be work. Like imagine if all of the sudden someone comes to you and starts giving you lots of choices to make. It would probably feel a little unsettling, right? So it might feel the same for some of the kids in your care. So you are going to point out all of the times that they do make a choice and then offer praise through noticing. So when they do make a choice, you're going to notice it so you can start to build their confidence, right? Then they will start to have an easier time choosing. You'll also provide opportunities for them to choose. And this is the deal, right? We're talking about problem solving with choices. So this kid's not doing what I want them to do. How can I make them more likely? By giving them some control and using two choices. But in reality, if we provide them choices all day long, even if they're not struggling with it, provide them choices all day long, every opportunity you can. Do you want to hold my right hand or my left hand? We're walking to the bathroom. Do you want to walk like a penguin or walk like a bear? Providing them choices all day long will make them less likely to try to get the control from you when you're asking them to do something. So providing two positive choices is something we want to practice all day long, right? So we provide these opportunities to this child who's hesitant to choose, and then every time they choose it, make the choice, we offer our noticing, which is, you did it. You chose my right hand. You'll have some kiddos that might quite possibly be resistant to the structure, right? These are the kiddos in your class where everything seems like a power struggle. You might think that they just say no just to say no. And so here's your your confirmation here that they might be saying no just to say no. And what that means is they're looking for some power, some control over their world. So you're going to find different ways to give it to them. But if they're resisting the structure, you are going to avoid the power struggle. You will never win in a power struggle. Now, you might get the outcome that you want, but nobody walks away from a power struggle feeling good. So we are going to avoid it at all costs with the people around us, right? So first, we're just going to continue to repeat the choices calmly. We're going to repeat them a few times. And then if the child still is not making a choice, then we will make it for them. We'll say, you're having a hard time choosing. I'll choose for you, and then move on. And remember, this is assertive voice. This is, we are calm. We are not taking it personally, because it'll go very differently for you if you say, you're having a hard time. I'll choose for you. You're going to have a different outcome if you say, obviously you're having a hard time, so I'm just going to choose for you, right? It feels different. The intention behind it is different. And then you're going to have kiddos who change their mind. So that's okay. First of all, if you have kids that change their mind, you offer them markers or crayons, and they choose crayons, and then they say, oh, no, can I have markers? Of course, just let them have the markers. But this is kids who are constantly changing their mind, who have a really hard time sticking with their choice, who don't have a lot of confidence in the choice that they've made. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to stay calm. We're just going to connect. We're going to notice when they've made a choice and stick with it. You did it. You chose the crayons and then you used them, right? We're going to do that, which is going to make them more likely to do it in the future. The more we connect with them, the more likely they are, the more willing they are to cooperate. But what we'll do is we're going to say, you chose the markers and here they are. You can color with them or not. You know, maybe they're choosing at snack time between pretzels and popcorn, and they chose pretzels. You chose pretzels, and here they are. You can eat them or not, right? Again, this is calm caregiver. This is our intention is to be helpful. If we say, well, you chose pretzels, take it or leave it, right? Or what's the thing that we say? You get what you get, and you don't complain or something like that. Like nobody wants to hear that. That never feels good. So it's our intention behind it. It's how we say it that's going to be helpful. So you have a choice. You may blank or blank, which is better for you. So this is where you just hit the pause button. You're just going to spend a little bit of time figuring out one or two things that are really a struggle. Maybe it's a certain child. Maybe it's a certain center. Maybe it's a certain time of day that you're having a lot of trouble with, and maybe decide what your two choices are going to be. Often these are hard to come up with on the fly in the beginning, so kind of planning a few out might be really helpful for you. And remember, it's okay to oops, right? You are going to do these things. You're going to be all motivated to go give two choices. Something's going to happen and the same old thing's going to come out of your mouth, and oops, it's okay. Remember what you're going to do next time, and you'll just try it again. Good luck.